Amazing day, everyone. My name is Bryce. I am the chair of Hero Summit. We are dedicating this webinar to our Hero members, our partners, and our advocates. We are grateful to have our dear friends from Mariano Marcos State University, our friends from Our Lady of Perpetual Support College, Bukidnon State University, St. Paul University, Philippines, University of the Philippines Los Baños, De La Salle University, Dasmariñas, Faith Colleges, San Pablo College of Business Administration, Bulacan State University, Dipolog Medical Center College Foundation Incorporated. We also have friends from the Philippine Association of Teacher Education, Department of Education, participants from other universities that we cannot mention, participants from the secondary and primary education, and other organizations. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much once again for being with us, for paying us your time. Please stay with us for the next 1 hour and a half of learning and opportunity seeking. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my fellow brain sharers, it is my honor to present the first resource speaker, who happens to be one of the two founders of the Future School operation in the United Kingdom in 1991. Steve was responsible for all school and academic liaison and building one of the first commercial relationships with all UK schools. Steve was instrumental in the transition of classroom delivery to a pure home-based offering for families, which by the end of 2002 had become a £24 million turnover national franchise operation. Over 5 years, Steve drove the migration from video through CD, DVD, and on-premise version of for use within the school. Future School was one of the first computer-based teaching systems introduced to the UK market at the time when the infrastructure was not capable of delivering full motion video lessons. The creation and development of a cloud-based learning platform was, and Future School is now used around the world under various brand names, providing a fully differentiated learning platform for teachers and a comprehensive home-based option for families. Outside of work, Steve is a keen yachtsman who competed in the 2000 Clipper Round, wow, the World Yacht Race, and is now qualified RYA yachting instructor and commercial skipper. His weekends and annual holidays, you will find him out on the big blue, sharing his passion with those new to the sea. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Mr. Steve O'Hara.
Good morning, Bryce. How are you?
Doing great, Steve. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Looking forward to the webinar very much.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor to have you here. Steve, I know that our brain sharers are all excited to get to know you. I'd like to start, requesting if you can just tell us more about you.
Sorry, you broke up. What was the last part there?
Tell us more about you and Future School. Where did the idea of Future School come from, and was there any specific problem that you have in addressing it?
Okay. I mean, that's a great question. And funnily enough, it's funny how life goes in cycles. We find ourselves in a situation now with COVID-19
Mm-hmm.
in not necessarily a dissimilar situation. We found ourselves back in 1989 when we were looking at a way of assisting teachers to help educate students in a remote environment. We started in Australia. Now, for those of you that know Australia, it's a huge continent, and educating kids across that vast country was done mostly at the time by radio through the correspondence school. So what we tried to do was to identify a way where we could provide teachers with, firstly, the content that they were looking for, but more importantly, a way of remotely supporting their students who were all at different ages, at different ability levels, and in a way that would enable teachers to keep control of what was going on and making sure that each student was getting exactly the education resources that they needed. So Future School came out of a need to assist teachers over a broad range of abilities, as I said, all underlined by this very remote nature. And I guess the other important thing is that we never ever tried with Future School to be a replacement. The purpose of Future School was to support and complement what teachers were doing in the classroom, and to support and assist schools with the outcomes that they had set for their students. So we were always here to support teachers primarily, never to replace them. So that helped focus our selection of topics that we would look at. But I guess perhaps more importantly, Bryce, it also conditioned us to look at, as we were complementing what teachers were doing, is there were certain things were better done by a teacher, not by a video lesson. So that helped shape the content that we were providing and the coverage that we would have. Sorry, that was a rather long answer to a short question.
Now we're down to our final speaker. Very inspiring person, truly a hero for the education space and for the other industries. One thing about our second speaker that I have always admired is his passion and his out of the box thinking. He's a moonshot mindset person. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we've invited him so that we can glean from his insight box how he can help us drive the opportunities that are all low-lying around our corner. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of LEENTECH Network Solutions, Mr. Richard Prodigalidad, Mr. Prodigy.
Welcome to the world's biggest leap in education. So before anything else, I'd like to share with you what's happening to the world. Right now, 90% of the world learners, more than 1.5 billion students, have been affected by school closures. In China, some 120 million Chinese students have been sitting in the front of their television learning through national broadcasts. While in Hong Kong, students have been learning digital using apps last February. And in Lebanon, and this is something that I like, schools have been using online learning even for physical education, where students have been shooting and editing videos of their training and sport activities, learning digital skills as well as even exercising. Never has there been a concerted global effort to digitize. So a steep learning curve for us all. It is a steep, really. Parents, students, and educators. This is truly a historic moment in education. We are now forced to break with decades of tradition, but we also have the chance to reinvent what we want to learn and reimagine what education could be. Yet, I have a question. How much of that are we doing now? So much of the world's education systems that had been designed for the first industrial revolution era. Passive learning, linear thinking, early specialization, one-size-fits-all teachings, for example, are geared toward building a workforce adept at the following instructions and being good at doing specific things. While there is a lot of focus on going in digital this home-based learning season, the bigger issue is that education needs to be modernized and become more relevant. Digitalization for me is both the solution and the challenge. So let me share you the technologies of the world. Because there are lots of technologies that are already existing and being applied. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to start adapting and applying what technology is out there. I just like to give you some example of that. So look at this. You might take a screenshot because this is important. So I'll just give you some short information about this. Century Tech is a personal learning pathways with micro lessons to address gaps in knowledge, challenges students, and promote long-term memory retention. Class Dojo connects teachers with students and parents to build classroom communities. Edmodo, tools and resources to manage classroom and engage students remotely, offering a variety of languages. Google Classroom, it also helps classes connect remotely, communicate, and stay organized. And of course, Moodle is a community-driven, globally supported open learning platform. You also have Schoology to support instruction, learning, grading, collaboration, and assessment. And CISO, it also enables creation of collaboration and shareable digital learning portfolios and learning resource. Schooler is the one I like. Tools to turn Microsoft software into an educational platform. These are some of the digital learning management system. But there's more. We have CELED, learner-centered skill-based learning platform with online option. ENESA, education, revision, and learning materials for basic feature phones. Funzi, mobile learning service that supports teaching and training for large group. Chaos, software that gives smartboard capabilities to inexpensively helps open portal to learning opportunities. Ubongo uses entertainment, mass media, and connectivity of mobile devices to deliver localized learning to Europe and locust sale. Ustad Mobile, you can access and share education content offline. This is for the mobile phones. So how about system with strong offline functionality? Colibri, it's a learning application to support universal education available more than 20 languages. Rumi, education tools and content to enable lifelong learning for underserved communities. Ustad Mobile, access and share educational content offline.
Right now, I'll now proceed to Brainshare Handshake. This is the time where I make chica with our hero partners and hero advocates. I'd like to call and ask how she is, how's the school with this COVID pandemic, lurking around. I'd like to invite a very good friend, a hero member, one of Heroes Optimus awardees also, Dr. Armida Samaniego, the president of OLOPS, Our Lady of Perpetual Help, Socorro College. All
Can you
right.
hear me?
All right.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, Doc. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for staying up.
Okay, a lovely day to all the participants of the third Hero Brain Share. I was with you during our second Brain Share, and this is my second for the series of the Brain Share. A happy Saturday, my dear friend, Dr. Bryce. As a Hero member, I fully appreciate the initiatives of the people behind the Hero Brain Share because, like people like me, we are exposed to many ideas that we really need at this time of crisis.